Even dollars, how much is it to these players?
Exactly. In 1 month.
Salary do be joke.
NHL takes I think about 90k now.
And
90 or 80k.
Indeed, they collect small.
Yes, now.
Indeed,
Indeed, said no try tonight.
He no try. Don't be so they play for Leicester. He did the shots, they scare people for Leicester. In the play shot, they
NHL collects 65. NHL collects 65 million a week, 150,000 pounds a week.
And he's playing. That's why they removed him, because there's no way you will see a senior man. The NHL can change the game anytime. He has done it for Leicester today. So no, you can't just remove someone like that without any reason. He probably was looking for goal. Was getting everybody to pass to him, and not
people have been.
I remember those times when Yana passed up for man.
Selfish. That's probably why. Why do you want to promise that?
Yes, now.
Players something. Give them as a team. I will buy all of you land, all of you together. Which one is buying land?
No, this one is painful, though. Amaduka Okoye should have saved that ball. There was no excuse.
Should have saved that ball.
That one break me, man. The guy stood in one position. He stood in one position.
When the goal entered,
you know, if he moved a little bit to the left, he could have caught that ball actually. If he moved just like a step to the left.
Miss the days of Enyama. Enyama will not even force. Like straight up, you just going to like get that ball.
Bro, that ball no supposed cause sweat. That ball no be sweat, bro. If
now
the ball just move to the left, you step to it and you catch it. No be something we need to be. Why was he lying down? He didn't need to lie down for that type of ball now.
He wanted to look pretty now. He wanted to look pretty for one. Make me lie down in green pastures.
If they criticize that now, they go say na us we na because we no fine. They don't know say we talk with him.
They say na they insecure.
We find out Nigeria versus Cameroon. Nigeria versus Cameroon. We have everything.
Imagine saying we go enter final and I think Madga will come keep for us.
Everything from the beginning of the match was bad. From the beginning of the match, from the lineup, the psychology of the players, they were nervous.
Exactly, it was the psychology.
Everything was bad from the beginning of the match.
Instead of them to be training, they were doing video call with one useless person.
It was bad.
They say clinic when they disturb them for dressing room or something.
I told them this team have not been tested. How you know a good team is a team that can come down from a goal down. That is where you know how technical. That's how you know how technical. How in depth they had technically. These guys have not been tested at all. What we had against the Egyptian was a good match, but in itself, it was not the real test. It was not the real test. Sudan was not the real test. It is when you start getting to the real side of business of the game, that is when you know a test. I am sure the moment they scored us, because we've not been scored like that before, and we came down from a goal down. The moment we had that goal, the psychology of those players were down, so they were shocked. Before we were used to leading people, then we score more, then if they score us, then fine, we're balanced. But this time around, they scored us first. So at that point in time, they were wondering, they were just looking at them, so what's happening? So their psychology was down. That is where you know the in-depthness of our coach, the tactical ability to say, guys, you calm down, this is what we're going to do. Moses Simon, 3 men, 1 on lead. You can't use him as a joker.
Did you notice something?
A good coach will always peg you down. The same way you peg Salah down.
Exactly. Salah down. That was exactly what they did. Oh my God, you're so spot on. That was exactly what they did. Same thing we did for Salah. That was what they did.
One thing about Simon was that he was so predictable. He's a predictable player. He likes holding on to the ball. He wants to dribble 1, 2, 3, 4. But you see, you need to be spontaneous sometimes. You don't need to dribble sometimes. Release the ball. Do your crosses. Don't predict it. You should be a player nobody should be able to predict. As a coach, as a good coach, as a Tunisian coach, he knows that I can predict Chukwueze. I can predict for the Simon. If you clip the wings, they can't come through the central. So clip those 2 wings for them, and they can't do anything. So and he has 3 man, and his game plan worked from the beginning to the end.
There was a point at the match they showed our bench. Exactly. I think it was Yobo telling Eguavon like why are they not moving? Eguavon is like I told them to move forward. Like I watched the Gabon match. Gabon played Burkina Faso. Gabon needed a goal. They did not mind that they were a man down. They were pushing. They were pressing. They were pushing. They were pressing. We were not pushing. We were not pressing.
We're not doing anything. We were not doing anything. Moses Simon, there was a point of the game. Those two people marking Moses Simon, they were shaking each other. They were just collecting it and making fun of it.
The point is that
the win was dead. They should have known that the win was over.
If you watch the beginning of the tournament from the first game till now, 70% of all the chances were created was from Moses. So if I were to be a right coach, I would tell you,
plan. They knew it already.
Exactly. If I'm the right coach, I will tell you,
everybody knows
that guy up, clip him up. That is where their chances are coming from. If you check the goal Ayana just scored was from Moses Simon. The goal I want to scored, okay, was speculating in actual anyway, but 70% of most of our chances are caused by Moses Simon. So I will clip him. Chukwueze is a left guy playing from the right wing. So it takes time for him to turn. So clip him too. That is gone. So the best bet for us is to use our central midfield. And Tuaripo is not going forward too much.
We just had two. That was the problem. There was no way we could move. There was no way they could move because it was just two of them. Because it was just two of them. He should have introduced another midfielder, probably bring in one Kali. Let them be three in that midfield. Switch to a 4-3-3 or something.
Distribute the passes. If I were to be a governor at this point in time, your game is scattered when you have the one goal down.
That's what Aribo is supposed to do.
You need somebody to distribute the ball. And that is where somebody like Nwakali would have done better. Because he knows how to cross the ball very well. His crosses are very well. And he's also a moving.
And then who was this guy
midfielder. He moves with the ball. He drives into the 18-yard of his opponent with the ball. But in this case, your wingers who were distributing the balls for you to create chances, they've been clipped. And the only option left for you is your midfield. And you need someone, that's where people like creative midfielders like J.J. Okota will ever remain indelible in our memories as Nigerians.
True.
Because he can dribble, he can go from the midfield. So once you notice Finidi has been clipped from the wing, if Finidi has been clipped, Babayra has been clipped from the other wing, or Benero has been clipped from the left-hand side, then he uses his own initiative to drive the ball to the midfield. He dribbles, passes, creates chances, and releases the ball to the striker to score. But at this point in time, we couldn't think out of the box.
I feel this match showed why Eguavon shouldn't go further, to be honest, because
before
the only time we played very well is our game against Egypt. Actually, for me, that's our first half game against Egypt. I think that's the only time we were tactically sound. But going forward from there, it was just more like vibing.
For even the match against Egypt, were we tactically sound or Egypt was just so bad?
No, we got the tactics right against Egypt.
The reason is this. It's because most people like Egyptians, they've not come to see our game. It was our first match. They don't really know our jokers. But I'm telling you, if we play this Egyptian side again, if we play them, maybe peradventure we'll meet maybe in the semi-finals or one of the matches again. It will be difficult to beat them the same way we beat them.
There's no meeting again, no.
They will just move Salah.
There's no meeting again.
Or they will put another midfielder. That's
Exactly.
what we would have done. Even if we wanted to use the wing, you will bring a midfielder to support Simon. So
those long balls from the first half were unnecessary, to be honest.
I want you
Don't even mention that. I'm disappointed with Awoni. I am very disappointed. Awoni,
he was isolated. He was isolated up front. He was isolated up front. Awoni was isolated. It was only our wingers that got the balls much more, and they didn't do anything with it. To be honest,
for this, I will say Umar Sadiq, well done. At least
no, of course, no. This match, yes, he was our best attacker when he came on.
He redeemed himself from that first game.
When he came on,
he has redeemed himself. To be honest,
when he came on this game, he actually played. No,
I wish the coach was even wise enough to even bench. I would have started and start Umar Sadiq.
Exactly.
Maybe it would have changed.
Maybe. Just maybe.
I feel like sometimes, but before they select teams or before they make the decision. It's like they go to read everything we say on Twitter or on social media.
Yes, no.
Let's see. Who are they supporting now? Who are they supporting? Who are which players?
That's why they are the coach. That's why they're the technical crew. They're supposed to see these things. They're supposed to see these things. That game, we didn't play anything. Chukwueze, Moses Simon was holding on to the ball, and they had two players marking him out. I felt like the coach should have stepped in at that point, tell him change of tactics. Okay, they found you out that this is your main guy. But no.
Not only that alone. A lot of things actually went wrong in this match. Before the match, I said, well, for me, maybe flippantly, I'm gonna say this flippantly. When you started, politicians started throwing money at those boys. I said, it has not gotten to that point yet. At that point in time, they're distracting those boys from, they're taking their eyes off the ball. You start throwing money, making unnecessary promises. The president started calling them, people started visiting the camp of those boys.
There was no need.
There was no need for all of this
finish the group
distraction.
stage. Everybody, all the teams just went through group stage.
Which country does
We're
that?
even in a easy group.
This is the first time in my life. This is the first time in my life I'm saying that a country's president is calling them in the round of 16. Even first timers, I think Malawi or who that made it, their round of 16. No.
Nothing works well in this country. Nothing works well in this country. Nothing works well. So
like it's painful.
Cannot be understood.
You could see Nigerians were actually rooting for these guys. We were actually rooting for them.
I was telling my colleague at work that the last time we went out,
people started going to their camps and all of that. There was a lot of distraction.
There was. And that was underdogs than the fact that everybody knows that Nigerians are around. The last time out that we came third, we didn't play very well this much. We didn't play very. And I was telling somebody that we winning our first our group stage and everything now, the old eyes will be on us, and then I don't think we can replicate it. So now we failed. We failed now. Last time
I'm not sound like a hater now. What I'm going to say now is I'm not hitting on anybody's hustle or anything. We have a crucial knockout game. Let me ask something. I presented a photo to Maduka Okoye. Was it in Cameroon or was it when they were in Naija?
Of course it's in Cameroon.
How? How is she having access
to a photo as well?
Like she painted a portrait of him and she was able to present it to him. I think today or yesterday. Like, how are you having access to the team? How are you having access to the first team goalkeeper in a major tournament?
I said this guy is for Neighborhood.
Bro, I think we all know what happened. These guys didn't train at all. It was the same thing they were doing in group stage. They just took to the knockout. Because if all these things were happening in training ground, politicians were coming, Buhari was calling, one girl was entering.
There will be distractions. Yeah.
What time did you sit down to watch Tunisia's game?
There will be distractions.
You analyze and you know what to do. That's what Tunisia did.
Please, I just want to confirm something. Is Egravon Nigeria's coach or technical director?
He's an interim coach. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
he operates two roles.
Okay, here's where I'm going. Can he still hold on to that technical?
Yes, now he's still. Yes, now after AFCON,
after this game, I don't see why you should hold on to it. That's where I'm going.
This is Nigeria now.
He didn't do his job, so I don't know. Maybe Naija. He didn't do his job, so
this is
I don't think you don't do it.
Yeah, but anyway, the job of the coach is doing
let me prepare you guys for heartbreak. Let me prepare you for heartbreak.
They didn't even use it. They brought in the town, and you don't understand. You didn't see that. You didn't watch their game. They watched our game, obviously.
Yes, now.
They start down with big.
Like right from the first 90 minutes.
From the blank
when I saw two people on Moses Simon, I just knew they knew what they had to do. Like right from the first 90 seconds, I just
Moses Simon, don't the players have brain to say, let us go move from midfield. Let us go out.
Didn't get. Nobody was moving up close to him. Those 1-2 passes, one touch play. They could have done that from the beginning. I mean,
Get Moses Simon give himself brain. Stop dribbling to the outside. Inside. Go inside. Why are you going outside? There are 3 people there. You're going in between them to do what?
And the worst thing about Nigeria now is, let's say we don't qualify for the World Cup and they sack this coach. I assure you, Yobo is going to be our next coach. At a point in time, they were going to say Yobo as our coach.
It's true now.
That's what they're doing. They're grooming him. At a point in time, Yobo is going to be our coach.
I don't even have issues. Yobo is exposed. He knows how everything is. I don't even know. This Ecuador, he's supposed to be exposed. I think he won it in jail or something. I don't know.
But who has never coached outside Nigeria now? Which exposed him?
I think Yobo coming as our coach would be a disaster because I don't know. I don't think he has ever gone for any program. I mean, he can do some. He has
That's
done.
That's what he's
currently doing.
Even clubs are having the issue when you bring a legend as a coach. There's no way you will have issues because the legend wants to play to the style he was grown with. A coach is someone that learns every style, that knows what to do and how to do. A legend will play to the style he was played. That's why Sabi is playing tiki-taka when he knows he has better, because that's how he was playing when he was in Baka. If we have someone from outside, someone that doesn't even know how they were playing, that knows different tactics, different ways to move player around, that's what we need. We don't want Yobo or somebody that knows.
Like, okay, let's break down our team. Just look at this. Maduka Okoye was signed. Watford signed him and loaned him back to Sparta Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Ekong plays for Watford. Kenneth Omori plays in Spain for Leganes. Our right back, Aina plays in Torino. Left back plays in FC Porto. Ndidi plays in Leicester City. Aribo plays in Rangers. What's his name? Enacho, Leicester City. Mukti Simon Nance. Chukwueze was Villarreal. Awoni Union Bell. Like there was nobody that did not, like top 5 leagues.
It's a very good improvement from 2013 when we featured very local players.
See, there's this guy called Akila in Plateau United. I should put him in that attack today. It would have been a different case. See, I don't even mind bringing local players back. Just have the drive.
It's not about the local players. It's about what you are bringing out on the field. I don't care if the whole national team is just filled with Imba United players or something. As long as they can string passes together, play beautiful football, and get the result.
At the golden age of Egyptian football, they Abu Treka now. They played in their legal league.
Yes, now
I will never forget. I will never forget 2006 when Al Ali had a match with Kano Pillars. I think there was something happened in Kano, they could not play, so they moved the match to Kaduna, to Amadu Bello Stadium, Kaduna. 2006, I saw Abu Traika. I had goosebumps all over my body. Like he was oozing elegance. Like this guy never played in Europe, or he played in Africa, but he was damn good. Like that's how inspiring. That's how inspiring. It's annoying, Sha. It's annoying. Like to be honest, I'm pained. I can't remember the last time anything concerning, aside from the killings and the kidnappings and everything happening, like say sports wise or having hope for the country. I can't remember the last time I said, oh, we're going to do good. We're going, because it has been one disaster, and this is the first time I'm having hope. And I promise you, up until the next election, when I'll have hope that will change leadership, I'm nothing concern hope for it. Even as they play Ghana like this, I'm not investing my emotion. If Ghana like they should beat us,
I don't know. But I feel that time when you're beginning to open something in Nigeria, that's when it gets worse. I don't know. That's my own observation. Like
exactly.
The moment something is giving you joy and is working well, something I don't know. I'm starting to think.
Someone mentioned something earlier. It's the hope that kills, actually.
Yes, now it's the hope that kills.
It will just be going well, and all of a sudden, and then the government will just come and bring up something, and boom, that's it.
Like no. Okay, is there anyone that can? Let's just say, to be honest, genuinely, is there anyone here that feels like there was a reason for the president to speak to these guys at this stage?
No reason. He had no business now. It's not the final.
Bro, entering now, even Comoros enter round of 16. It's not a big deal. It's not a fucking big deal. Everybody enter. I can go there and go and enter it. What's there? Win the fucking thing. Get to final. We were supposed to be Cameroon. That is our final.
Yes, now.
Cameroon.
You
That's
get.
what
I
we
feel like
felt.
Cameroon was the only
If
would be the only
beat us,
threat.
I swear to God, I will clap for
You don't go pay me too much.
something. Why will
How
a
about
president
Tunisia?
come for round of 16? Why will you sit down to listen to a president after round of 16? You should be, even then, naturally, you should be smart to know that round of 16 is everybody's thing. It's not a big deal. You just went through group stage. Your group in group stage was not that tough. It was just Egypt. You handled Egypt perfectly. The other teams you played well. But no, don't sit down and think you're already good. You are not good. You are not. You are just there. You just know what to do. You don't even know. Come on.
Just imagine this disaster now. But my own now is, how do they like this thing? Is like, what's the difference between us and Ghana that went out in the group stage? Like, what's the difference?
Nothing.
How much you give for going, like, playing an extra match? Like, there's no difference. They went out in group stage, we went out in round of 16. Is basically the same thing, the same
It's
thinking.
the same, yeah.
It's the same thing now. Yes, we went.
I just hope this team can bring continuity.
No, it's annoying. Hopefully, let's see what the new coach will do. Let's see the team he will assemble. I hope the NFL will not interfere in this process.
They
One
will.
thing I love.
will not interfere.
One thing I loved Raw tried as much as possible to reduce the influence that the NFF had on his team and his selection.
Yeah.
Like, he tried that. Yes, it's because of him some of these players are playing for us. You understand? So he tried his best to. So let's see what will happen. To be honest,
but Raw did not play beautiful football like this.
No, at all. So the funny thing, do you know the crazy thing with Raw? We probably would not have topped our group, but with Raw's tactics, we would have probably beaten Tunisia today.
Of course, yes, we would have. But we were not gonna play beautifully, anyways. But with his tactics, I believe we would have won. We would have.
Eguavon needed to have changed this, like, switch things up right from halftime. We needed an extra man in the middle.
That middle was just, we were just lagging. Like, there was nothing. It was only Ado that was holding on to the ball, and he was recycling. There was nobody to move the ball forward, give the final passes in the opposition's box. Simon was there holding on to the ball. When Chukwueze was doing his own, and then Awoni is nowhere to be found because nobody could reach him and everything. And then our coach, God.
Imagine if we had an extra man in the middle. We had.
Then suffocate our attackers, especially Moses Simon. Whenever he has the ball, there are 3 guys around him, 2 or 3 guys, 2 guys at least. So even though you dribble the first, how many times can you go past 3 players consecutively? Mm-hmm. So if we had planned early enough and there was a great plan, this guy, Chukwueze, had a bad game today, so he could have been replaced. Like, this game is suited for tennis. The other one. So if Moses Simon is having a quiet game in the office, Dennis could pick up and we could do something better. Also, they've studied the movement of Iheanacho and this Awoni. So it was, even though they tried to create some things where it was a bit difficult for them. But when you see when Sadiq came in, they didn't really, because they were. I believe maybe their team was not really propping him to come on early or to really have effect on the game. You could see they couldn't understand some of his movement, and he caused some chances. He created some chances. So the point is, they actually did well. To me, I think they tried. It's just that on a good day, everything that could go wrong in football went wrong. The goal, it was a swerving ball that, well, the keeper could do better, but not many keeper catches that kind of goal as well. So overall, it is just like, I think the Guavon himself do not really have time to call up the players he really needed. So he only went for the obvious starter. And to be fair, Iwobi has no business in that Super Eagles because he's just riding on the name of his uncle, Njenje Okocha, blah, blah, blah. The guy is nothing. He has nothing to offer. So overall, Sadiq impressed me, and I think Guavon showed it could be a proper way for us to campaign for local coach. That, yeah, enough for foreign coaches, but I know the result doesn't justify the performance. But to me, I think he really did well. Just that, yeah, today I couldn't really fault him because those guys came with a game plan and it worked to the perfection. So that was it.
Wait, who be the Sadiq guy? Abi Sadiq. Now, guy will miss one chance, one tall, long guy like that.
Yeah. The guy improved the game. You can't say otherwise. You can blame him for other matches.
He did what?
No. Let's not be biased.
So, for all what you want to talk where you just talk now, you just single that guy that he did well. What did he do?
Come on, he played well now.
Come on now. Don't be sentimental.
Come on. He played well for the whole team. I don't understand. He played well. I see the chance where he misses. This single and out that guy come up for here.
So, did you watch the game?
I'm not sure.
Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game?
It's going through, man. Let's happen. Could be. You're next.
Guys, how far? Good evening, everyone. See, the truth is, first of all, from the technical team to the players, man, Nigeria really mess up. I won't even lie, because see, Eguavon is under pressure. That's one. Then secondly, that man doesn't even have a team, because if you look at it, like Amaka said, and what the previous speaker said, Shay, I don't see the reason why they go even call Iwobi, because Iwobi is not a regular starter, and Iwobi is just there. Trust me, Iwobi is just there, you know. And another thing is, the red card was a very fair play, because as a professional, which you've been playing for EPL, you understand that you don't take on players with your stud on his shin. That's a red card of trying to start with. So first of all, you come in few minutes after you were just infected. The next thing you're getting a red card. That was crazy. Then looking at the team, apart from generally, I think the only person that was trying to be impressive today from my own view was Ekon. The guy did well. You understand? Chukwueze was trying to be a bit stingy with normal thing with like Greenwood, you know, just trying to play my game. You understand? So I think, see, the truth is, then talking about Maduka, that one, fine boy don't kill him in such a way that he doesn't even know what he's doing, because that was a very cheap goal. You know, starting from the whole team, I think Nigerians need to understand, because when you look at these guys from the Northern Africa, most of their players are from their local league. You understand? Nigeria needs to understand that all these foreign boys, you know, swag. If you look at Enyimba FC, if you look at some teams, we have some mad boys that are doing very well. Why don't you give these boys opportunity? Because these boys want to do very, 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 very well. Instead of being all this top notch, and the next thing, you know, imagine me earning like, okay, for example, Osimhen that is earning like £150,000. You know, you're coming to Nigerian League. I'm waiting one tell me. If you talk to me anyhow, I'll just go back to my club. Do you understand? And most of those boys, they know that, okay, yeah, I'm going back to my team. So basically, bring most of these boys that the strength. I'm serious, they have strength. They have a whole lot of, you know, game tactics. Not bringing people that from Yankee, where we say, you know, say these boys are doing very well over there. So sometimes I just feel we need to revamp everything. And Eguavon was not even the proper, how should I put it, the proper manager for this team. They were just left go there to still do his thing. You know, we just tell him to change the whole pattern and all that. Just bringing in most of these guys just mess, because those guys were having so confidence. If you see their confidence level there, that would be Tunisia. You know, they were just making it look like they are going to rubbish Tunisia from, you know, but the truth is, see Tunisia. Yeah, they were doing very well from the beginning, but at some point they lost it. So my own concern is, you know, that they should just try and see players from Nigerian Premier League, bring some of them in, and try to change a whole lot of things, not just these foreign boys. That's just my own concern.
Sorry, just one quick question for you, Kubi.
Yeah, are you with you, bro? Yeah, I'm with you.
You were saying all these foreign guys in the midfield. Who were supposed to play in the midfield that wasn't there? Did Ndidi and the combination of Ndidi and what's this number 10? Isn't it good? The defense is supposed to be there, that isn't there.
I wanted Onyeka to play. I don't even know why that what is his
Who you wanted
that,
to?
that number 10. I wanted Onyeka to play.
Nah.
Shay, see, what I'm trying to say is, Shay, the
About
truth
play
is,
well, we will win. I don't come up for here, I beg. Good night.
see,
The goalkeeper department.
Shay, I want to tell you
Who
something.
is better than
Shay,
the magic that we have?
Shay, have you been watching Nigerian Premier League?
No.
Okay, you won't understand. If you see, I don't watch Nigerian Premier League, but there was a day I just said I want to watch these boys. Let me see what they are doing. Trust me, we have some boys that are playing very well. Well, like, Shay, imagine you bringing someone from Nigerian Premier League to play AFCON. The person wants to do extremely well. I'm being truthful. Imagine that goal that they scored.
But honestly, you could see that these guys are motivated. Out from this game, up and I see they don't play since. Do you see any ego or even say before? The problem of Nigeria is that the ego you talk about is usually the problem. Like the days of Mikel playing 10 for us instead of playing to his true position. But see this team. Indeed, he played for us. That was what he was used to. Everybody
wait. What to be Mikel normal position?
Mikel na defensive midfielder now, but when he go Nigeria, they go from the
lie.
Wait,
Namori convert Mikel.
does that make him attacking midfielder? No. He plays defensive for his club. So suddenly you've been doing
before
it.
Then, Uncle.
You said?
Before then.
I wanted
There's nothing like a then.
It is matter
Like before then. He was once a 10, but at Chelsea he was playing for. So he lost everything he knew about playing 10 when he played that. So don't say before then. The past is in the past. At Chelsea he was converted into a 4. So let's just see him as a 4. That is
as a 4. And you see the ego, no ego in the team. Everybody play according to their position. Even Musa, despite the fact that they call him up as senior man, he top bench. So everything like the coach tried. So this time around, it's not ego. It's not as if they are not hungry. Everything that could just go wrong went wrong today. And that's it. And because those guys, they claimed a very good game plan that Guavon could not, maybe because of personnel he had in the bench, he couldn't counter it. They came to sit deep. Then suffocate Simon since Naimbi they are our most creative. So I think we have another person like Dennis. As Simon find and difficult, Dennis will just do 1 or 2. Then he was scared, say Iana Shumi no collect another yellow, making red, bringing Iwobi, and then Iwobi. So, and if you look at it, even with 10 men, we were pushing. They were supposed to be, the position was supposed to change, but we were still pushing. We were creating chances. It's just that, we lost, and that's it.
Can I tell you something?
Okay.
I've actually watched smaller teams, both in the Premier League, both in the Bundesliga and the Spanish football. Most especially in the Premier League, I've watched where a smaller teams, come beat big teams like Chelsea, like Man City, and I've even during the time of them, John Terry then for Chelsea. I've seen players come out after post-match interview, and they will say that we never respected our opponent. So you could, and I said that every player will come into that pitch with confidence, both the small and the bigger clubs. But what actually sometimes brings about these shocks now, sometimes these bigger teams or bigger players, they respect those smaller clubs. And when you respect the smaller club, you go see say they go knock on. Okay, somebody here said that Nigeria go play Ghana. Say we go beat them. Say our players better pass their players. You see, and some of our players, believe it or not, will speak that kind of thought for their mind. Say, oh, don't be Nigeria. They play for Leicester. This one they play for Everton. This one they play for Villarreal for Spain. Before you know when I don't already underrate this Tunisia, and now waiting kill us today, I will still say it again. We underrated this Tunisian team. Now we get too much confidence when we say we don't come respect and the opponent again. Now we're waiting for some. This is my own opinion, bro.
Dr. Tochukwu, I wanted to say something before, and I think Amaka hits the nail when she spoke. Now, I really do not believe that there's anything like over confidence.
See how football works is this: when two teams want to square against each other, one team decides to be the bigger team by the style they adopt on the field, whereas the other one then assumes the initiative. Now, I'll give us a backdrop as to how we came to where we were today. Before this whole campaign began, we felt like the team was in disarray. In fact, I am not sure there was anyone here who thought we would beat Egypt. Now, Egypt came into that game with one game plan. They wanted to rely on the pace, the tricky of one person, Salah. So from the onset, they now chose to start back. So it wasn't like we were that better. No, they gave us the ball to play. So it just so happened that we broke down the Egyptian defense. That's now why it looked like we played so well. I'm not saying we did not play well. I'm saying that they gave us the ball because they wanted to sit deep and hit us on counter. It just didn't work out for them. Of course, the other teams, we were expected to beat them. Now, the two nations also did the same thing. Like she said, if you know Arabians, that's their style. See, this thing she said, she just spoke my mind. You can't see the one thing you can never allow to happen to you as an African team is to allow an Arabian team to score against you. Because once they score, even both their keeper will form any kind of injury. It's like saying when Man City is playing when Arsenal is playing Chelsea or is playing Man City, you realize that most times Chelsea and Arsenal would want to sit back and defend against Man City because by default, there's no point you will say you won't play Man City at their game. But if this same Chelsea and Arsenal they play Tottenham, they will not sit back. Instead, it's Tottenham that will sit back and defend and let Arsenal play. That's how football was. Before
Bro, me and you are different things we talk. You're not saying in line with what
no, you said that they came in overconfident. It wasn't overconfident. It seemed that way because we got to this point by having to win.
Let me rephrase again.
Okay.
Hold on. I understand. Let me rephrase again. Every player comes into a pitch with confidence. This is what I said.
Okay.
But what makes the difference is that sometimes the bigger teams don't respect the smaller teams. Somebody for here talks in Tunisia, they go to carry players from their local leagues. Now, our players in their mind come the field, say, these guys are local players. We are Premier League players. I say they fit. I'm not saying this is what they did. But now waiting to happen. That is why you see players come out sometimes and say that we lost the game because we never, even coaches self, they even talk. Coaches, they talk so they say we lost the game because we never respected our opponent. We they play ball too now. I play football. When I play football, you can't come say go talk say these ones now O2 them B. I grow up for Lagos. We call them say now O2 them B. If you want to play them, we like say them go even come out, go even win us. They no go play well. Now we say we better pass them. We go play better than them, but somehow them will still come out, come win us. So that confidence where we take enter, say we will beat them, say they no sabi. Them now come beat us. So we did not respect our opponents. That's just what I'm saying.
All right, thank you. Let's proceed. Let's have Amaka. Now same overconfidence next to kill Brazil against Germany 2014. I'm aware. Let's move.
Okay, we're talking about the MPFL. Maybe including players from the MPFL. Well, I used to advocate for all of that, because when we hired Genetra, all of the money they were paying him as an expatriate, and then giving him conditions, you live in Nigeria, because the man preferred to just stay in France and then fly in. And I'm like, how do you now get to watch the local league to see these players and know which one will fit into your plans? But then they say, his technical director, Salisu Yusuf, will do that and the rest of them. But if you watch our MPFL, the Nigeria Professional League, truth is, it leaves nothing to be desired because I don't think the NFF and also the LMC, the League Management Company of Nigeria, I don't think they pay so much attention to our local league. That's why the NFF president, Amaju Pinnick, he's always, if he's not in the UK, going to talk to the likes of, what's his name, Ebere Chieze of Crystal Palace, Luke Mon, that plays for Leicester. You know, all of those Nigerians born abroad, so long as you're British, so long as you play abroad, he just wants you to come and play for Nigeria. He believes so much in that. You know, he finds a way to wrap you up, and you know, he even talked to Tammy Abraham, Fikayo Tomori. Truth is that we would love to have those players. Imagine we had a Tammy Abraham, we had a Fikayo Tomori, we had a Rush Barkley. They might not be the best in Europe, but they will be better than whatever it is we have in our squad. Huh?
Saka of Arsenal too.
Exactly, Bukayo Saka, all of those guys. So, but the MPFL, if you watch the MPFL, man, it's not all that, truthfully. I watch every time. It's not all that. There was even times that, you know, highest goal scorers from there, Buffon, Odo, Junior Lukosa, they were involved in this squad. You know, especially Junior Lukosa, the hype was so much there. He scored so much goal for, was it Plateau United, I think? And they included him in the squad. And, you know, the way he played, he was like, the first two times I watched him play for the Super Eagles, it was like he was so surprised, as in he was playing like he's shocked to be there. Like, I understand that it's a big deal to just come from the local league and play with the likes of Iheanacho and the rest, but not, as in, I didn't see any, like, our local league is not, you can't compare it to the South African league, you can't compare it to the North African league. Those guys are head and shoulders above us in terms of how they take care of their local league and football. That's why if you check the CAF Champions League, the CAF Confederations Cup, like, we're nowhere. Either we exit in the group stage or, you know, the preliminary round for. Since Enyimba last won the CAF Champions League, we've not even, you know, made attempt to go so far because of how poor the MPFL is now. But then those North Americans, North Africans, the North African and the rest of them, the Al-Masri and all of that, you know, they go so far, they play so well. So for the Tunisians, it's not a surprise that most of their crop of their players come from their local league and they are doing well because their league is very, very, like, they take care of it. It's very, very good to watch. Not our own, that all you hear is that they are owing them salaries, that protested, they beat up referee, you know, the kind of stories that come there, so you'd be embarrassed to identify with the MPFL. And then talking about, you know, some people are like, after winning all the group stage games, feel like, okay, should Austin Eguavon continue to be the coach, or should the new Portuguese they hired, should he now take over? You know, and then they were like, oh, let's wait till after the AFCON. Let's see how far Eguavon will go. But that is that even if Eguavon got to the finals or quarterfinals or semifinals, I don't think the NFF would have made him a permanent coach, because I don't know whether we like it or not, we still see these white people as being inferior. In every area, we have this rest, like expatriates. The thing, when we hear it, the English expatriates, as it was the word self, they sweet us for body. We believe that expatriates are better, the white people are better. So I don't think they would have even given Eguavon the job. And then another reason why maybe I like foreign coaches is because I believe the players respect foreign coaches more. And my reason being, the local coaches here, most times they do not respect themselves in terms of the way they relate with these players. You know, maybe a certain Kelechi Iheanacho or Wilfred Ndidi or Alessi Wobi, you know, those guys that play in Europe that make a few squid. Most of them might be testing them. Find me something now, anything for the boys. My daughter's school fees. So imagine when someone like Iheanacho gives you £1,000 or whatever, you know, dashes you. When any team list you're making, you must put his name whether he's in form or not. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. So by the time you ridicule yourself in front of these players by going back to be asking them for money, gifts, you know, that kind of pain, at the end of the day, you can't actually tell them anything. You can't actually correct them. But I think with these foreign coaches, I don't think they do that. Like, there's this, I don't know. So that's the only reason I think this foreign coach thing would fly, you know. But I want to believe there are local coaches who respect themselves, because when you don't respect yourself with these players, foreign players, they'll use it to mop the floor. And when